Welcome fight fans in fight numerology. Today we are breaking down UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen vs. Figueiredo main card. First fight of the main card is veteran vs. prospect lightweight clash as Jeremy Stephens faces Mason Jones in a guaranteed barnburner where experience meets youthful aggression. First up, Jeremy Stephens. Born on May 26, 1986, and fighting out of the USA, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stephens stands 5 feet 9 inches with a 71-inch reach, a seasoned knockout artist known for his brawling style, brutal power, and never-back-down attitude across decades of UFC battles. His strengths are devastating knockout power, massive experience at the top level, toughness and grit in firefights, heavy leg kicks and explosive hooks, mentally hardened under pressure. And his weaknesses are age and mileage, declining durability, one-dimensional, relies on power brawls, slower footwork and reflexes now, can struggle against technical, mobile fighters, tendency to get drawn into wild exchanges. Numerology edge. Jeremy's 8-to-1 energy gives him sheer force, raw will, and a no-quit mindset. But as an aging fighter, the fresh cycles of may first be fighting against the natural closing of his competitive window. Universal Day number 8 will support his driver 8, but his personal year 4 and personal month 9 are not supportive. Path to victory. Land big shots early, keep the fight chaotic, and break Jones' rhythm before youth and speed take over. And let's talk about his opponent, Mason Jones. Born on April 26, 1995, and fighting out of Wales, Mason the Dragon, Jones stands 5 feet 10 inches with a 74-inch reach, a well-rounded brawler with a high-output style, sharp boxing, and solid grappling, eager to carve his place in the UFC. His strengths are high-volume striking and pace, durable chin and fighting spirit, well-rounded skills, stand-up and ground, fast combinations and sharp movement, hungry to prove himself against veterans. And his weaknesses are defensive lapses in wild exchanges, can get hit more than necessary, needs to manage energy over 3 rounds, a less power compared to heavy hitters, sometimes gets drawn into unnecessary brawls. Numerology edge. Mason's 8-to-9 energy gives him raw ambition combined with adaptability, a powerful mix for a young fighter learning to outsmart veterans. But he must avoid falling into the same chaotic traps Stephens thrives in. His personal year 3 and personal month 8 are supportive, but personal day 2 does not support, but universal day 8 is in alignment with his driver 8. Path to victory. Use pace, footwork, and volume to stay ahead, avoid reckless brawls, and wear Stephens down over time. Final prediction. Numerology meets technique. This fight pits Jeremy Stephens' raw veteran power, 8-to-1, against Mason Jones' ambitious, adaptable youth, 8-to-9. While Stephens' experience is undeniable, Jones' speed, versatility, and hunger may tip the balance if he fights smart. Both technical and numerology edge is in Mason Jones' side, so I'm going to pick Mason Jones over Jeremy Stephens. Next is a bantamweight clash between 2 rising prospects, Smotherman and Siridi, both eager to break into the rankings with a statement win. First up, Smotherman. Born on September 17, 1997, and fighting out of the USA, Smotherman stands 5 feet 9 inches with a 70-inch reach, a fast-paced, volume striker known for his slick combinations, footwork, and relentless forward pressure inside the cage. His strengths are high-volume striking and fast hands, sharp footwork and angles, relentless cardio and pace, good takedown defense, confident under pressure. And his weaknesses are can get wild in exchanges, leaving openings, still developing ground game, limited power, relies on accumulation over KO shots, can struggle against physically stronger opponents, experience gap at higher levels. Numerology edge. Cameron's double 8 energy gives him a dominant, push-forward mindset, eager to take control. But with a life path of 6, he needs emotional balance. If the fight gets rough, staying composed is key. Also, his driver 8 is in full alignment with his personal year number 8, and universal day number 8 also supports him on the day. Path to victory. Use speed, angles, and constant pressure to overwhelm Siridi while avoiding ground exchanges. Now, let's talk about his opponent, Siridi. Born on July 4, 1996, and fighting out of Canada, Siridi stands 5 feet 8 inches with a 69-inch reach, a well-rounded fighter with a smooth striking style, sharp counters, and an underrated submission game. His strengths are clean, technical striking with solid counters, good balance between stand-up and ground game, calm and composed under pressure, sharp timing and fight IQ, dangerous submissions if the fight hits the mat, and his weaknesses are, can be outpaced by high-pressure fighters, not a pure knockout artist, relies on precision, sometimes slow starter, can get stuck defending when backed up, needs to manage cardio over 3 rounds. Numerology edge. His life path 8 is in full alignment with universal day number 8, but his personal year number 2 not supportive. Also his personal day number 1 does not go well with driver 4. Path to victory. Use technical striking, manage distance, pick counters, and capitalize if the fight hits the ground. Final prediction. Numerology meets technique. This is a classic clash. Cameron Smotherman's double 8 power and pressure versus Siridi's disciplined, analytical 4 to 8 energy. If Smotherman can force the pace, he'll test Sirdi's composure, but if Siridi stays sharp and technical, he can edge out the win on precision. Both technical edge and numerology edge is in the side of Cameron Smotherman, so I'll pick Cameron Smotherman over Siridi. Next is a firecracker of a bantamweight bout is set as power striker Montel Jackson faces off against undefeated Peruvian sensation Daniel Marcos. With precision versus pressure, it's a chess match in the making, and numerology might just tip the scale. First up, Montel Jackson. Born on April 24, 1992, and fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Montel Jackson stands 5 feet 10 inches with a 75.5-inch reach, a long, rangy striker with a lethal left hand and strong wrestling base, known for his calm demeanor and efficient finishing ability. His strengths are outstanding reach and power for the division, crisp, efficient striking and wrestling control, calm, calculated approach, and his weaknesses are low volume in certain fights, tends to coast without urgency, cardio questions in high-pressure fights, numerology edge. Montel's life path 4 and driver 6 don't directly align with the universal 8-day, but his personal year number 1 and personal month number 6 gives him inner discipline and mental focus and energy to dominate. Path to victory. Montel needs to play it smart, using his reach, avoiding brawls, and keeping the fight technical. Now, let's talk about his opponent Daniel Marcos. Born on March 7, 1993, and fighting out of Lima, Peru, Daniel Marcos stands 5 feet 7 inches with a 70-inch reach, an undefeated, high-pressure striker with slick Muay Thai, forward momentum, and an iron will under fire. Strengths: aggressive, high-volume pressure, excellent body shots and leg kicks, durable with strong self-belief. Weaknesses: reach disadvantage, tends to get hit while entering, untested against elite grapplers. Numerology edge. Though not perfectly aligned, Daniel's chaotic, unpredictable energy from the 5 life path thrives under high-pressure 8 days. He may feel the fight more instinctively, especially if the bout turns gritty. Path to victory. Daniel needs to turn up the pressure, get inside Montel's long reach, and make it ugly. Leg kicks, clinch strikes, and body work can wear down Montel's composure. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. On a universal 8-day, drive and dominance win fights. Montel's structure and length can control the tempo, but Daniel's aggressive 5 energy and momentum give him the tools to cause chaos. However, Montel's longer reach, wrestling threat, and mental discipline from his conductor, May 4th, just keep the Peruvian striker at bay. I'm going to pick Montel Jackson over Daniel Marcos. Next fight on the card is Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Daniel Rodriguez. First up, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Born on September 26, 1986, and fighting out of La Plata, Argentina, Santiago, the Argentine dagger, Ponzanibio, stands 6 feet 0 inches with a 73-inch reach, a high-volume striker with lethal leg kicks, serious power, and South American grit. His strengths are crisp boxing with excellent jab, durable and tough in long wars, aggressive with consistent forward pressure, veteran experience against top competition, and his weaknesses are slower recovery from damage in recent fights, can be predictable when chasing pressure, defensive lapses when brawling. Numerology edge for Ponzanibio. On May 3, 2025, the Universal Day is an 8, all about power, control, and high-stakes energy. This favors those who can assert dominance, stay disciplined, and manage pressure over the full fight. Ponzanibio's driver 8 wants results, and his personal year 8 will support him, and additional support will be provided by Universal Day 8. Path to victory for Ponzanibio. stay behind the jab, work the body and legs, and force Rodriguez into a war where his power shots can break through. And let's move to his opponent, Daniel Rodriguez. Born on December 31st, 1986, and fighting out of Los Angeles, California, Daniel "D-Rod" Rodriguez stands 6 feet 1 inch with a 74-inch reach, a gritty southpaw boxer with streetwise toughness and a sneaky rhythm that keeps opponents guessing. His strengths are clean boxing and sharp counters, strong chin and relentless pace, calm under pressure with good octagon composure, durable and consistent in striking exchanges. And his weaknesses are not the most explosive finisher, defensive holes when standing still, susceptible to low kicks, numerology edge for Rodriguez. Rodriguez has a rare alignment, driver, conductor, and life path all being 4, and the universal day 8 adds maturity and karmic weight. His 4 energy can actually use this to build round-by-round control, staying composed and purposeful with support of his personal year, number 7. Path to victory for Rodriguez. Weather the early storm, counter Ponzanibbio's pressure with sharp boxing, and gradually take over with volume and timing. Final conclusion. On May 3, 2025, the Universal Day is an 8, all about power, control, and high-stakes energy. This favors those who can assert dominance, stay disciplined, and manage pressure over the full fight. Santiago Ponzinibbio, with his 8 driver and strong 5 conductor, aligns powerfully with the day's energy. But his emotional volatility under fire could be exposed against a calmer opponent. I'm going to pick Santiago Ponzinibbio over Daniel Rodriguez. Now the co-main event and one of the most exciting main card matchups pits the submission wizard Reinier de Ridder against wrestling prodigy Bo Nickal in a middleweight showdown. First up, Reinier de Ridder. Born on September 7, 1990, and fighting out of the Netherlands, Reinier, the Dutch Knight, de Ridder stands 6 feet 4 inches with a 79-inch reach, a decorated BJJ black belt and 2 Division I champion known for his relentless grappling and slick submissions. His strengths are elite BJJ black belt and submission specialist, high fight IQ and tactical grappling control, excellent cardio over 5 rounds, championship experience under pressure, strong positional awareness on the ground. And his weaknesses are limited striking and knockout power, slower hand speed on the feet, striking defense can be exposed, sometimes too one-dimensional, grappling heavy, vulnerable to explosive scramblers or wrestlers. Numerology edge. Reinier carries a calculated, mature energy with a strong ability to stay focused under pressure. His 7 driver combined with an 8 life path gives him tactical sharpness and authority, but the missing grounding may cause him to struggle if forced into a wild, chaotic exchange. His personal year number 7 also in alignment with his driver 7. Path to victory. Use superior grappling IQ, dictate the pace on the ground, avoid extended striking exchanges, and watch out for youthful explosiveness. Now let's move to his opponent Bo Nickal, bio. Born on January 14, 1996, and fighting out of the USA, Bo Nickal stands 6 feet 1 inch with a 76-inch reach, a 3-time NCAA Division I wrestling champion with explosive takedowns, improving submission skills and knockout power in his rising MMA career. His strengths are elite NCAA Division I wrestling pedigree, explosive takedowns and top control, fast learner with improving submission game, athleticism and physical strength advantage, finishing instincts early in fights. And his weaknesses are limited high-level MMA experience, unproven in deep rounds against top opponents, submission defense still developing, can be over-aggressive leaving openings, striking game still evolving. Numerology edge. Bo's 5 driver gives him dynamic, unpredictable bursts, while his 4 life path keeps him grounded and hard-working, an excellent combination for a young fighter hungry to climb. Path to victory. Use explosive takedowns, test de Ridder's striking defense, stay aggressive, and avoid grappling exchanges where submission traps lie. Final prediction. Numerology meets technique. On May 3, 2025, Reinier de Ridder brings the wisdom, experience, and calculated grappling to this fight, but Bo Nickal carries the wild-card energy of youthful ambition and raw athleticism. Numerologically, de Ridder's 7 to 8 power leans toward mastery, but Bo's 5 to 4 dynamic can disrupt the veteran's flow if he stays aggressive and unpredictable. Final prediction. Bo Nickal have the technical advantage, whereas Reinier de Ridder have the numerology advantage. I'll pick Nickal over Reinier de Ridder, but Reinier de Ridder is not a bad underdog to pick. Let's get to the main event of the evening, Cory Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo. First up, Cory Sandhagen. Born on April 20, 1992, and fighting out of Aurora, Colorado, Cory the Sandman Sandhagen stands 5 feet 11 inches with a 70-inch reach, a smooth, cerebral striker with endless cardio, and a knack for creative offense. His strengths are high fight IQ and adaptability, excellent footwork and range control, diverse striking with knees, spinning attacks, and precision shots, strong defensive grappling and scrambling. And weaknesses are sometimes struggles against heavy-pressure wrestlers, can get caught when taking creative risks. Numerology edge for Sandhagen. Cory's 2 driver thrives under emotional awareness and adaptability, and the Universal Day on May 3, 2025, which is an 8 Universal Day, does not resonate with his life path 9 and driver 2. Path to victory for Sandhagen. Maintain range, frustrate Figueiredo with angles, and drown him in a war of attrition, taking over deeper into the fight with volume and movement. Now let's move to his opponent, Deiveson Figueiredo. Born on December 18, 1987, and fighting out of Sao, Brazil, Deiveson Figueiredo stands 5 feet 5 inches with a 68-inch reach, a savage finisher known for raw power, aggressive submissions, and a kill-or-be-killed fighting spirit. His strengths are explosive power in both hands, dangerous submissions and guillotine chokes, ruthless finishing instinct, toughness and warrior mindset. And weaknesses are cardio issues in longer fights, can be reckless when chasing finishes, size disadvantage moving up in weight. Numerology edge for Figueiredo. Although Figueiredo's 9 driver does not resonate with the 8 Universal Day, his life path 1 seeks dominance, and Universal Day 8 calls for power, control, and a high-stake energy. Not blitzes. It aligns perfectly with him. Path to victory for Figueiredo. Close the distance early, unleash powerful combinations, and hunt for an early finish before Sandhagen's movement and conditioning become overwhelming. Final prediction: numerology meets technique. On May 3, 2025, the Universal Day is an 8, all about power, control, and high-stakes energy. This favors those who can assert dominance, stay disciplined, and manage pressure over the full fight. Deiveson Figueiredo's aggressive 1 energy may bring him good results against a composed and cerebral fighter like Sandhagen. Technical edge is in the side of Cory Sandhagen, and numerology edge is in Deiveson Figueiredo's side. But Deiveson Figueiredo is not a bad underdog to pick. I'm going to pick Deiveson Figueiredo over Cory Sandhagen. So that's my technical and numerology analysis for UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Please like and subscribe to my channel and comment your picks below.